So, finally, hello there everyone, and welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are going to be continuing and finishing our Ride Authority Let's Play. So, in the last few episodes, we've kind of eliminated the Greater Maldrude, and last episode specifically, we killed Zinj. In the comments from Twitch we've seen, yeah, I'll turn on the chat box now. So, I am going to be streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So for those of you watching the VOD, this was all recorded live, and there we go. Chat box should be on now. But yeah, so like I was saying, generally we'll be streaming on Twitch for most of our streaming stuff. We'll usually do like the community matches on both Twitch and YouTube, but I do want to stream a lot more than I have been. And even just yesterday we had 2 streams. We're now doing one today. But yeah, so that's the plan. We will finish off the Arado Authority playthrough tonight, and tomorrow we should have the video up for patrons to pick their ships for the Greater Maldrude playthrough. The post has been on Patreon for a little while now, but I haven't announced it on the channel yet. And we should be starting the Greater Maldrude probably next Friday. I haven't decided if it's going to be Friday or Saturday, but we'll be getting onto that really soon. So, without any further ado, which I hate when YouTubers say that, but I'm going to say it now. Let's start off by invading Tangreen, and then we'll move over onto Cowron. So, any questions you guys have about the mod or anything else that you want to bring up in the chat, I'll just leave the topics we discuss up to you guys for the most part. I would auto-resolve this because it's all infrastructure. Like, it's just the shield, the HV gun, the tax center, but they do have a fair amount of actual units here, so I don't want to lose too much to the auto resolve there. But it should be pretty quick to clean up. Let me know if there's any issues with the audio as well. Revenant was saying the game lags behind my mouse click. So if anyone else is seeing that, or if that's still occurring.
Moving out. Choose your reinforcements.
I mean, it's all infantry, so let's get.
Transmission received. On my way. Unit capacity.
And a lot of it was
Advancing.
the what's it called? Plex, so that's not great too.
Move out.
Okay.
Sensor node constructing orders.
Sensors.
Ready.
You guys
Right
may as
away,
well
sir.
crouch.
Squad, advance. Construction complete. Move out.
There's a lot of civilians on this side, but sound of the game second after you click. Okay. Is there something wrong with the settings then? Is that on a delay? Huh. Weird. Is anyone else? Okay, so Rogue and Revenant are both hearing it. I don't know that there's anything I can change with that.
Roger. Right away.
Oh well, we'll see if we
Moving to that
can
area, sir.
do anything as we go, but
Yes, sir. Scouting.
how's your first time playing Hearts of Iron 4?
Reporting in.
It seems like a fun, it'll take some getting used to for me. Because I have played a bit more EU, so I have like some idea what I'm doing, but it is a very different game. So hopefully I don't die too badly. I'm sure Scarecrow will carry me.
Ready to go.
Even though they're supposed to be worse, because they don't have any inaccuracy, I think the enforcers will sometimes end up being a lot better than stormtroopers. Like, the stormtroopers can start shooting before the enforcers can, but everything will hit, so... How's the volume level, at least?
Always ready, sir. Enemy spotted. Moving to secondary.
Alright, let's get our own enforcers up there.
Fallout troops.
Well, that grenade went way too far.
Reporting in.
Assuming the game doesn't desync before Germany or Japan kills you. We'll be fine. I can't remember if we stayed on regular, if we went down to, was it recruit or something? Below it?
Battalion standing by. I've got them on scopes. Mauler ready. There they are. Destination set. Reporting.
Game's loud. See if that's any better.
Roll out.
Moving to secondary position.
Roger that. Right
Our
away.
base is under attack.
Attack!
I used to always record with the system volume lower,
Bombing run
but
Bomber standing.
the problem I found with that is when I started recording more with other people, it would always be off, and then it'd always be inconsistent. So I'm trying to get it a little bit more standardized.
Coordinates. Initiate sweep.
Alright, so that's most of the units gone.
We'll cover you.
Your HOI campaign, are you going to stay as democracy, fascist, communism, not on? I'm going to stay as democracy.
Roger that. Changing course.
Providing backup.
They are in my sights.
I got me. Advance.
I want to be, like, I wanted to patriate the Constitution because I want to be independent Canada, but
Copy.
still going to stick with the
Right
Allies.
away.
Right behind you.
We get a HOI 4 community match at some point? It's possible. It seems like it's been requested a few times since the video went up, so it does seem like people are interested in that.
Attack.
We'll cover you.
Alright, there's all that. Units are coming in. I'm gonna use the orbital bombardment on the
Open fire.
on this.
Available.
You guys walk a little bit closer? No? Well, they'll probably run over now, so it doesn't matter.
Heading.
So yeah, we should be starting, like I said, the Greater Madrid playthrough on Friday or Saturday next week. It'll probably be Friday. That's where I have it slated in now. I just want to see if anything else comes up that ends up taking that spot, because that way we'd be doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that week, all in a row for the first 3 episodes. But yeah, so there's a few new things for that. There's been some ground changes, not a huge amount, but a decent amount. And then there's also like the new secular that Bob did for PR that we're using, as well as some updates Bob made to the Gladiator model.
Let's move.
Lead the way.
A lot of the work I've been doing in the last few weeks, aside from my vacation, was to follow the Republic. So I've
Orders, sir.
basically scheduled all my days now, where I have like a certain amount of time I want to spend every day on ICW, Follow the Republic,
On my way.
recording, and 3D art. So there should be a good mix of all that stuff getting done. I'm going to make myself stick to that as much as I can,
Have you
and hopefully that'll mean we get some Follow the Republic stuff coming up soon too.
Roger that. Right away.
We probably ought to resolve at this point. It's just that guy.
Moving out.
No, kill him. Here we go.
We are victorious.
Stream sound isn't lagging on YouTube. Okay, so it might just be a Twitch side then. Oh no, Cult of Hastur's dead.
System control achieved.
Okay, so there's our first planet. I did say I wanted to split up this fleet a little bit, because we have a lot of stuff in here. It's a lot of Praetors. And we wanted to block off both sides, so... I have a fair amount of stuff there. Because then they won't be able to go anywhere, and we can easily take these guys out. There's some... that's mostly Raider. Okay, so I'm not too worried about that. Awaken the Tiger. Yeah, so I do have all the DLC that's currently available.
Escort carrier standing by.
Choose
Choose your reinforcements.
Manager. And Nero's Curse. It might just be because of Restream that the Twitch issues are happening, which is unfortunate, but because I don't think we had those issues yesterday, and it seems like YouTube's not having them right now, but oh well.
Your orders, sir.
I need to get the Twitch stats up for partner stuff.
Coming back around for another run. Excellent shot. I got one.
Well, I have all the HOI DLC, and Scarecrow has basically all the Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis DLC. So whenever I play EU4, I've just played with him, and I assume when I start playing CK, I'll probably just play with him too.
Moving to coordinates.
I'm on. I got him. Under control.
Well, glad you can make it C4.
Watch him. He's coming around. Returning to your position. Reinforcements canceled. Coming around.
Order
All the extra time I've had to take has not been
navigating to
especially helpful for the channel, so I want to try to make up for
Star Destroyer standing
some of the damage that's caused.
TIE interceptor here. For the Empire.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
Closing on target. Pursuing enemy forces.
This year as a whole, I've been just horrible at getting consistent streaming going. So
Under control. Watch him.
I spent a good part of my vacation time just thinking about how to structure that a bit better and general plans for the channel.
Getting a lock. Closing on target.
Will 2.3 be compatible with the GOG version? So far it should be, but there will likely be a point where we just have to say it's not
Attack run.
worth the cuts we have to make to stay compatible with GOG or disc.
Enemy direction. Narrowing position.
Any updates in the Pokemon series? Yeah, so Fire Red, there should be an episode coming up in the next couple days.
Target priority is the laser.
There were supposed to be episodes on the Fridays while I was gone, but there were like 18 videos I had to record to get ready for it, and I just didn't have enough time for them. I was recording them last, and I finished recording the other stuff and getting it posted at like 10 p.m. and I had to leave my apartment at 11:05, so I didn't have a chance.
On my way, sir.
But I'm also thinking about whether that would be better streaming as well.
Invasion commencing.
There we go.
System conquered.
Because I have been talking about doing like a separate channel for that, because it doesn't really fit quite as well as some other stuff. Alright, let's send this one up all the way, because we can get to Ilshaw and Cernpidal pretty easily. Is there anything really here? HV guns. Just in case they have any defensive structures.
There they are. Blast them.
But yeah, because I really like doing... Oh, crap, that's gotta move. Go it that way. And yeah, so I really like doing the Pokemon series, and like Reborn was a lot of fun, the Fire Red ones were a lot of fun, but that sucks. For the channel as a whole, it doesn't fit as well, and that can cause some issues with analytics.
The lasers are on.
So I do think it's better off being in its own space, and maybe throw in some like Fire Emblem or something with it.
I'll take care of this. Getting a lock.
Order confirmed.
Just have to make sure if I'm doing that, it's not like committing to too much. So.
Pursuing enemy
Our
forces.
target priority is the laser cannon.
Go after them.
Order confirmed.
I have them now. Target locked. Eliminating target. Bomber squadron reporting. Taking them out. Engaging the enemy.
Take down their shield.
Seeing the flash forward first.
This one.
The lasers are our target.
Alright.
Choose your reinforcements.
Destination confirmed.
Target locked. Returning to your position. Eliminating target. Let's finish him.
Reporting.
Closing on target.
Awaiting
Intercepting.
your orders.
Pursuing enemy forces.
Direct all fire on the shield generator.
Taking them out.
Hypervelocity cannon
What are you gonna shoot for? Okay, so if you're going for Donager, then we're fine.
Target locked.
Hey, Star Brother.
Excellent shot.
Engaging the enemy. I got him. I'm on this one. Under
Oh,
control.
Raider Maldrude.
He's about to be destroyed. Watch him. He's coming around. Returning to your position. I'll take care of this. Enemies in range. Interceptor squad reporting. Eliminate
Okay.
target lock. Orders, sir. Course set.
Are you gonna retreat, PA, please, maybe?
Headed your direction. Pursuing enemy forces.
No?
Taking them out.
I need to kill the Golem first. Uh-oh. There we go. Thank you. Once we're able to integrate raid fleets a bit better with the rest of the game, but I've thought about giving them interdictors and how that might go. Actually, they're over Inks Minor, so we can probably even just send this fleet. No,
construction.
doesn't matter because they're not going to be able to move out of there.
Construction complete.
Proceeding location.
So what else do we want to build?
Construction
Keep up some
complete.
IDTs. We got to make sure that we have enough units.
Vehicle in production. Vehicle cancelled. Unit in production.
For the rest of the planets. They do have a couple Praetors, which is... And they have, of course, Kaine. I just worry about them attacking.
On my way,
Construction.
sir.
And over here.
Already.
And we'll just auto-resolve Yulsha,
Invasion
because hypervelocity
commencing.
guns.
System conquered.
Let's get going.
Already.
Change the HV gun targeting priority for frigates. Yeah, they'd probably get more kills out of that. That's also been the main way that I've lost heroes or praetors specifically, though. So they do still get something out of it. Like I lost Pterodok because he was getting HV gun focused, I'm pretty sure.
The enemy is approaching.
We can probably start using Andal in battles now too. So I don't need his discount anymore.
Hypervelocity cannon firing.
Oh, what do you know? Lost my Pathfinder. Get a raid fleet. Completely forgot that my carrier died. Hey, Rock.
Hypervelocity cannon firing.
Awaiting your command.
Ready for command.
Yeah, so I brought up a few days ago with the team doing a news post sort of covering basically several versions worth of things we want to do. Oh, look. It's the Havens.
Form up.
Commander.
But yeah, so going over not just 2.3 stuff, but general plans for some 2.4 stuff, 2.5, or just even stuff that we want to do that hasn't been assigned any specific version and may come at any time. So stuff with factions, stuff with units, stuff with mechanics, AI,
Coming around.
all that kind of stuff.
Take out the iron.
So
I'm on this.
that may be happening soon.
System is down.
Copy. Tightening up. Watch him. He's coming around. Let's finish him. Return
Form up.
to your position.
Heading
Or
to
Suicide Sphere.
I'll take care of this.
Engaging
Watch your
unit.
back.
Revenant, was Suicide Sphere yours?
Be around much longer. Target critical.
Destroyer here. Our primary target is those iron cannons.
Closing on target.
I usually try to keep track of that, but I've
Weapons ready.
forgotten a lot of them for this one.
I copy.
Like who requested which.
Target. Advancing on target.
Oh, that sucks, Hawk.
For another run.
That sounds weird.
I copy.
That sucks, comma,
The
Hawk.
iron cannons.
I got him.
If you hear that wrong, it can
Yes, sir.
sound very different.
Cannon
Oh, Giant Triangle of Doom is yours? My bad.
Reporting. All fighters
Your
attack.
command. Ready for battle. Star Destroyer standing by. Star Destroyer reporting in.
Okay, you don't need to attack the asteroid. I'd rather you go for the
Reporting in.
boys.
Has been destroyed. Ready for duty.
Forces.
Navigating
About
to
to be
coordinates.
destroyed.
Awaiting orders. We're moving out. Getting a lock.
Where are the others?
Oh, Nero's curse is
Awaiting your orders.
in pretty rough shape here.
Awaiting your command. Your command.
Velocity cannon firing.
Commander. Our target priority is the laser. Roger that. Attack position.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess we gotta use our fighters for that.
Ready. Yes, Commander.
I should have just brought him back immediately. I didn't think the Havens would be able to
Ready.
shred it this fast.
Form up.
TIE interceptor here.
I mean, I wasn't looking at it when it was happening, so
Shields almost.
I think we might have lost the shield gen HP to an HP
Squad
gunshot.
reporting.
Reporting in. Roger that. Attack. I've got him.
Engaging the enemy. Cover me now.
Awaiting order.
I'm on this one.
Active. Form up. Copy.
Let's
Destroyer
finish him.
here.
Yep, you're dead.
Our shields are down. I copy.
Coming
Choose
around.
your reinforcements.
Well, Nero's curse had a good life.
Your position. Go after them. Gun them down.
One of the things in the news post should actually be a picture of like a render that
Shake them.
uh,
Regroup.
Connor from SDA3 made. He just sent it to me today. It looks really cool.
Velocity cannon firing.
Probably gonna get a C Ruby one as well.
We're being targeted.
Our primary engine system is down.
Taking fire.
Reporting.
When C Ruby are added ICW.
Fire. The shields aren't
Hey, Corbin.
Pursuing enemy forces. I won't be around much longer.
The launch bay is gone.
Orders, sir. I'm up.
Awaiting
My scopes
instructions.
are jammed.
Direct all fire on the shield generator.
Who are we losing back here? Just a regular VSD.
Flank speed. I copy them.
Taking them out.
Reporting. The lasers are our target. Awaiting
Engaging the enemy.
Roger that. I'm
On
on
this
this
one.
away.
I have them
Star
now.
Destroyer standing by. Our turbo laser batteries have been disabled.
Ready for command, sir.
Star Destroyer reporting in. Our shields are target locked.
Alright, that ended up taking a lot more than I thought it was going to. Alright, that is getting a French version of Windows first. Oh. Implacable Nero's Curse and a VSD.
Brigade standing by.
All have sadly died.
Destination set.
So where did I put him? Okay, let's reinforce them. I'm actually going to put all this stuff, including our hero, in that fleet that just lost everything.
Moving into position.
Because he does have an ISD. I'm like 97% sure.
The enemy has been spotted.
Oh. So this will need to be auto-resolve. Oh, they're leaving.
We are victorious.
Good job, Maldred.
Tactical battle imminent.
Alright, so it's just light vehicle factories and then a couple swamp speeders. Not too bad.
Order acknowledged.
It's a fairly large map, so let's get
Right away.
Reinforcements cancelled.
Setting
callers. We don't have to worry about turbo lasers.
away.
Up. At
Setting
maximum
course.
unit capacity.
Keep going.
ready. Keep going.
So anything the TIE crawlers come across, they should be able to take out. Let's actually get our infantry back here, because I think there's a sensor array.
Order, sir. Enemy unit sighted.
Ready. Attacking target. This way. Over there. Fire at will.
Here it is.
Reporting.
Activating. Attacking. Target set. Firing.
Yeah, this is probably not the best map there. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
Cool. I've got them on scopes.
That was for Corey Penn for the people on YouTube. Not, I wasn't thanking me there for the bits.
They are in my sights. Roger that. Roll out. Form up. Deploying. In attack
Okay.
position.
You guys have got to chase these ends down.
Scanning for enemies. Initiate sweep. Attack. Copy.
I mean, may as well shoot that stuff first.
Fire. I copy. Open fire. Attack that target.
And you two, or you guys, I'm just gonna go get another
Reporting. Attacking target.
thing.
Fire at
We can
will.
drop like AT-ATs or something.
Yes, Commander. Ready for your orders, sir. Attacking. Changing course. Targeting. Battalion standing by. Firing. Right away.
Unit
No.
destroyed.
Moving out. More ready. I've got them on scopes.
Thanks again. Well, glad you're looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll be able to get more information on it out.
Time order. Copy.
Stuff.
Ready.
Run
Like
available.
the biggest thing should really be the ground changes and figuring out exactly what we need to do now versus what can or should come later.
Run.
Ready. Over there.
Commencing bombing run. Activating.
Because the balancing stuff should be relatively simple.
All out troops. In attack position.
Enemies. Yes, sir.
Getting all that to a point where it makes sense.
Coordinates.
And the combat just generally feels better. But
Attack.
with the major overhaul stuff we have planned in the future, just trying to figure out what we should start doing now,
Roger that.
and what makes it, or what's the most feasible to do with it.
This way.
Because ultimately what a lot of the plans we've talked about have involved is stuff that it makes it a bit more skirmishy.
Open fire.
So involves some aspect of like actually
Deploying.
choosing your units within the battle for both sides
For enemies. Initiate sweep.
without making that like
Attack that target.
too drawn out for every battle. So some ways to like skip ground battles and really only have to engage in like the more important ones.
Course. Attacking target. Right away. Fire at will. Attacking. Moving out.
Alright.
Available.
That should
Target.
do it for Cernpidal.
Awaiting orders.
Cernpidal. Cernpidal. Dead Chewy Land, we'll call it. Instead.
Enemy has been defeated.
Lost a TIE crawler, took the planet though.
Planetary control achieved.
And now we have a straight line from all of our stuff. So, it's been a while since we've had that all secured.
On my way, sir.
We'll take these guys out with our Angst Minor Force. And we'll close in on the rest of the PA from there. And that'll let us combine one of these fleets with the other one, because we have 4 planets covered and we only have 3 ways out. So maybe we'll go straight for Kaine. Not really avoiding ground battles, but like
Roger that. Squad.
having
Use your reinforcements.
Destination.
fewer higher impact ones with more fun mechanics,
Reinforcements on
where we can make them be a bit more involved without making it feel like everything is such a slog. So if a planet isn't really built up at all, rather than spending the time on that, that can be bypassed in some way. And then on the planets that are more built up, you can have more of an actual battle rather than
Warm up. Right away.
just something that feels like a cleanup operation multiple times across the GC.
Sensor node constructing.
Awaiting orders.
Construction complete.
Heading out.
Because I do feel like that is one of the main problems that ground battles end up having, is that when you have a good one, it's really nice, but then sometimes you just end up feeling like some of them don't matter and or are just taking more time. Because like if it's a space battle and they only have like a star base, that ends almost immediately. But in a ground battle, if they have like a squad of troopers and a building that you know is not going to be a threat to anything, it still takes like 5 to 10 minutes to get that done.
Sensor node constructing. Construction complete.
Reporting. Targeting at maximum firepower.
Airs will probably actually be disabled in the Maldred playthrough as well. So what I'm thinking with that one is to do Art of War, but do the version, do it later on in eras, but do the version where it's the similar starts for eras, because there's the air progressive, like air selection that follows like canon territory, which would leave us, if we did era 4 or 5, with like 3 planets in era 4 and nothing in era 5. But there's also the ones where you choose the era and that sets like all the units and heroes and everything, but you start with the era 1 planet starts, which tends to be the more fair way to do it. And I think that's what we're going to do.
Commander. Orders, sir.
Bombardment available. Turret
Are
constructed.
you going to come and kill us, please?
Construction complete. We are victorious.
Here we go. How's your Outer Authority coming along? We've taken a good portion of the galaxy. I think
Planetary control achieved.
I think we're probably in a good position. So Nika Picati Sin, does he stay with you throughout or just with Erewhon? He stays throughout if you can rescue him.
Destination set.
Was that a bad choice? That might have been.
Brigade standing by.
What do we want for this one? Let's actually get you over there. Where's the Executor? Oh, Executor died, right.
We're moving out.
So that's unfortunate. Yuck. Hope you have a good time at work. Alright, is this fleet capable? It should be. Yeah. So let's go into Helska. Helska and Gabrador.
Tactical battle imminent.
And this fleet... That'd take a lot of losses up against a Praetor. Ugh. I'm glad you enjoyed, Doc. It is a lot of triangles.
Inbound.
And to kill off our last hero? Maybe. I'd like him to die against Kaine. Oh no.
Cruiser reporting. Location
Has that been every space battle except the Yanks Minor one, where Maldred retreated, that we've had a
Choose
Raid
your
fleet.
reinforcements.
Well, Dodger. Rebels End.
Move out.
Peregrine's
We'll be
Nest.
there shortly.
Ground support. And Out of Annoyance.
I copy.
Supremacy.
Move order acknowledged.
55th.
Maneuvering.
Bulk ordered ties. Corinth boat party.
Cancel. Move order acknowledged.
And we'll drop in the torpedo sphere behind it. Get George Eliot's Revenge on this side.
Location confirmed.
About to be destroyed.
Yes, Commander.
Excellent shot.
Move out.
When do you think we can see the Asserter and the Corpus Sector in action? The Asserter,
Squadron standing by.
I'm not sure when it'll be done. I'm working on the model currently still. It's not in game yet,
Await
or else we'd
orders.
have used it in this playthrough.
Our target
But
priority is the
with the CSA, there's still a few more space units we need to do for them. Their ground roster is actually pretty much done.
Choose your reinforcements.
But they should be
right away.
ideally
Moving out.
the ICW playthrough that we do
To your position.
after Maldrude. Hopefully.
I'll take care of this. Let's finish him.
Awaiting your command. The lasers are our target.
Why don't the raid fleets get interdictors? Because that would just be really cheap.
Ready for battle.
Because right now they don't really impact the map in other ways, so if people really want to avoid them,
Be around much longer.
giving them that out after a few minutes is, we figure, better.
Priority is the laser.
Because they're not really coming from the galactic map. But if we're able to work them in a little bit differently,
Reporting.
then I would like them to.
Attacking
Where are the
target.
others? The shield's almost gone. Cover me now.
Oranges are disabled.
Taking them out. Go after them. I've been hit. Engaging the enemy.
Roger
Yeah, I
that.
don't disagree, Bob.
Fire at will.
I'm hit.
Attacking.
I'm on this one.
The lasers are our
Engines
target.
are malfunctioning.
Form up.
Under control. We're being
Our
targeted.
shields are offline.
Watch him. He's coming around. He's about to be destroyed.
Because there's no longer as much like pointless dumb hunting, so
Returning to your position.
The shield's on holding.
Enemies in range. I've got
Our launch bay is gone.
Get behind.
Targeting.
it'd probably work out fine.
Copy.
Choose your reinforcements.
But yeah, so I think the main thing that I'm
This.
waiting to finish for the CSA are the Invincible, which I'm going to be done fairly soon. I have the model pretty much done. Then it's just the texture, so that should definitely be ready by the time we're done with Maldrude. But the only question there is just if there's going to be a Fall of the Republic playthrough between then, or if I would do like ICW and Fall of the Republic at the same time as a playthrough. Because Fall of the Republic is almost ready to maybe start a playthrough soonish.
Position. Let's finish him. Have them now. I'll take care of
Awaiting
this.
your orders.
Watch your back. Intercepting. Coming around. We won't be around much longer.
We've lost the iron
On
cannons.
target. Target critical.
We've got them on scope.
Pursuing enemy forces.
Right away.
Taking
Our
them
target
out.
priority.
You guys have got to go for the Maldrude, or for the Empire of the Hand Fighters.
I'm on this
You guys have got to go for that.
Roger that. I got him. He's about
Can you please like face a useful direction
Awaiting your command.
into you?
tightening up. Let's finish him.
Your command, sir.
My scopes are jammed.
Commander.
Watch your back.
Attack commencing.
Once we have ranges a little bit better and Z layers more variable,
Reporting in.
stuff shouldn't get as clumped up.
Returning to your position.
Moving out.
Because I would prefer having a little bit more spaced out.
This. Nowhere to go. Losing power.
Form up.
Even though it's all space,
Destroyer here.
it
Getting
gets clumpy,
All eyes. Let's
and
move
that
out.
does not help with pathfinding.
He won't be around much longer. Target critical.
Oranges are disabled.
I got him.
Choose your reinforcements.
Watch for enemy ships.
Our launch bay has been
We're on our way.
Damocles and strike fast.
About to be destroyed.
Let me just take out all these or
He's headed your
Empire of the Hand ships.
Taking him out.
Not every raid fleet is Hapen. I need to.
The torpedo launcher has been destroyed.
Copy. Our primary target is
Do they have engines still? No.
Switch position.
Those shields are offline.
Finish him. Under control. Watch out. He's coming around.
Our lasers have been destroyed.
Returning to your position.
Our engines are disabled.
Our primary engine system is down.
Sir,
Our ship
Oh shoot. Lost Serenity. Wasn't actually able to bring in. Does he? I thought he did have a.
brigade standing by.
Does Andal not have a ship? I thought he had a ship, and then he also had a figure that spawned from it.
Invasion commencing.
Oh well. Ian Tuhelska.
Reporting.
Another planet where nothing ever went bad for the
Reinforcements
denizens of the galaxy.
at maximum
Destination
unit
set.
capacity.
Keep going.
When did this happen in the Star Wars timeline? Like when these factions came about? Only familiar with the original 6 movies. So the mod is set right from the end of Return of the Jedi up until 20 years after it, when the Yuzan Vong War started. So basically, right after Endor, the fleets or the Imperial fleet started essentially breaking up. No, move over it, fly over it. There you go. Oh no, they can shoot shit up. Never mind.
Yes, sir.
My bad.
Yes, Commander. Open.
But yeah, so after Endor, everything started falling apart with the Empire. So stuff like the Pentastar Alignment, Orido Authority, Greater Malzrud, those are all splinter groups that came from the Emperor's death.
Choose your reinforcements. Reinforcements cancelled.
Moving out.
Reporting. Attack that target.
Okay. Will more corporate sector planets be added to the game map because of the CSA becoming playable? There will probably be a few. With a lot of the factions that are actually coming up, they will typically not be especially large. So the CSA
Over there.
probably at most will have 5 or 6 planets in even the biggest GCs they're in. Unless we do a GC later where it's like specifically focused around them, which is something we have discussed, and then there'll probably be more to fill up the GC.
Over there.
But
Awaiting orders. Copy.
with them, and then the Habens are going to be next, and they'll probably get 1 or 2 more real planets added. So they have
Armored transport
the
ready.
Transitory Mist, and they have Apes, Truba, and Terraphon. They'll probably get like a Langy or something. But
Reporting in.
a lot of them will be like minor factions, kind of.
Advancing.
Roger that. Acknowledged.
I don't want to add too many planets past what we're adding for Fall of the Republic, and a small handful for each release, because I think Slorny will kill me.
Order acknowledged.
Choose your reinforcements.
Inputting coordinates.
Advancing. Squad, move out.
Bombing run available.
So some of them, like Capes or the CSA, will probably end up being slightly more difficult factions to play as well.
Yes, Commander.
Copy.
Like the NR and the IR and maybe the Empire of the Hand are probably going to remain the like beginners getting introduced to TR kind of factions. And then you have others that are like progressively
Reinforcements
more
cancelled.
difficult.
We secured an abandoned
All right,
turbo
men,
laser
take cover.
tower.
I copy.
Awaiting orders. Squad,
I guess we
advance.
can actually just keep that.
We've lost the abandoned turbo laser tower.
All right, men. Load your weapons.
What's PR?
Reporting.
Okay, so where's this last last factory?
Inputting coordinates.
Acknowledged.
Yes, Commander.
We've lost
Keep
the
going.
abandoned turbo laser tower.
You can shoot that one more time. There you go. And that one. Look at that. See how easy that was?
Ready. This way. Over there.
Proceeding.
Will there be a giant progressive area map with all the factions? There is one more. Oh, it was a barracks. There is one more air progressive map we have planned. That will be. It will have much higher requirements to run than any current map. So
Scanning area. Awaiting orders.
after that, maybe there'd be a different one that's kind of more of a middle ground or more like an Empire's End with the Empire of the Hand. But
Target locked. Let's go.
Squad, move
we
out.
have to see as stuff gets done.
Target.
Come on, man, this way.
Always ready, sir.
At this point, I kind of want to put a bit more emphasis on like fleshing stuff out and adding some depth in different places than necessarily focusing on having more GCs and that kind of stuff. Because there's already a lot of that in the mod, and I think we do get a bit more value out of just working on making them more different rather than making more like starting positions or maps or that kind of stuff.
System conquered.
All right. Oh, I completely forgot about the New Republic over there. And we do have the Imperials down at Odic too, but I somehow feel like they're not really a threat.
Requesting backup.
Well, the PA is down to 5 planets, so there are only 5 stars. They're living up to their name.
On my way, sir.
Oh, they have HV guns there. I'd definitely lose if I tried to invade that with this fleet.
Invasion commencing. Planetary control achieved.
That one didn't really have much there. Okay, so do we save him for last? We probably could. Go on Bastion maybe next? Yeah, we'll do that. That one's probably another one where we'd auto-resolve the ground,
Destination acknowledged.
because it's a barracks
Tactical battle imminent.
and then infrastructure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, Zinj is told to hang around Dathomir. I don't know if Kaine hanging around his capital is a specific part of how the PA is coded, or if it's just from their era 1 to 3 passivity. Bob, I don't know if you can clear that up. Whether that's a general factional thing just from era 1 to 3, or if that's something that Kaine is kept away from specifically.
Reinforcements cancelled.
Right, Rebel's End,
All out.
Peregrine's Nest,
Let's move out.
Aristotle,
Let's go.
and Suicide Sphere.
Moving to coordinates. Moving out.
Versus Swana, Damocles,
Heading out.
Strike Fast.
All out.
Do we need George Eliot's Revenge in here? Maybe I'll drop it back there
Advancing. Awaiting
and
command.
get up here with
Setting.
Fighter Popper.
Lock.
Advancing.
Closing on target.
I copy. Attack.
Pursuing enemy forces.
You can get in the middle there.
Reporting.
You guys can go around the back.
Go.
Regroup. Taking him out. He won't be around much
Star
longer.
Destroyer standing by.
Engaging the enemy. Unable to shake them.
Most faction leader preferentially sit at their capital planet when not being used. Yeah, it doesn't seem like using it for attacks though. There you go.
Star Destroyer reporting.
I kind of prefer it this way because, like, you know, even if you start far away from
Take out the
the PA or from Zinj, that you have a good chance of coming up against them in a fight. Because like we started as a Raidu, which is as far as you can be from both of them, and we did ultimately get to fight both Zinj and now Kaine. But one of the things that it does mean is that the AI may not be in as good a position to expand, because when setting up the starting forces, those SSDs tend to count a lot against them. So if they're not really using them to attack, it could put them at a disadvantage, which might be why Zinj is getting so often pushed way back by Maldrude. So that might be a thing to look into, because I think that actually only happened recently, whereas before it was typically Zinj that would win between him and the Greater Maldrude.
Let's move out.
Return to your position. I've got him. I'll take care of this. Nowhere to rock.
Destroyer here.
He'll be around much longer.
Our target priority is the laser.
Pursuing enemy forces.
Attacking target.
Taking them out. We're being targeted. Target
Copy.
critical. Engaging the enemy.
Alright.
This must be destroyed.
Down. My scopes are jammed. He's about to be destroyed. Stay able to shake him. I'm on this one. He's headed your direction.
So with the Praetor just going down the middle here, it should get to that goal in pretty quickly, you guys. That's almost done. I'll send these ones up to this goal in as well.
Shield's almost gone. Narrowing position.
Yeah, Maldrude's Pterodok. Alright, is Delvardis.
Watch for enemy ships. Go after them.
Our engines are gone. Shields are down. Star Destroyer reporting in.
Pterodok's only in a frigate.
Yes.
A good frigate, but still a frigate.
Let's finish him.
Watch your back. Intercepting.
Intercepting.
Ready. Coming about.
Stay in formation. Sir,
He won't be around.
Awaiting your orders. Attacking.
Getting a lock.
Or enemy craft.
Awaiting your command.
Target critical.
taking fire. Eliminating target.
Closing on target.
Coming around.
You'll be lost out turbo lasers.
Oh no!
Reporting. Pressing the attack.
Enemy forces.
Destination confirmed. We're on our way.
We're being targeted.
They're hitting us.
Squad, move in. Full speed ahead.
My scopes are jammed.
Sir,
Tier 6 would be really good. It'd be tier 0.
Commander. Over there.
-1.
Engaging the enemy.
I mean, there are some heroes that give a negative overall bonus in some category. He'd just give a negative in everything. And people would still be mad if I lost him. Asterix.
Destroyer here.
Just as I bring in your acclimator too.
Turning to your position.
Here it is.
Copy.
I'll take care of this.
I copy.
target.
Closing on target.
Intercepting.
Pursuing enemy forces.
Stay in formation. Get behind them.
Taking him out.
Reporting. They've taken out our launch bay.
Excellent shot.
I've got him.
I'm on. Engaging the enemy.
The lasers are our target.
Awaiting your command.
Sir, I've got
Watch
him.
for enemy ships.
Oh, ground units got away. Well, I mean, we can just give him more starting forces too. The issue isn't so much that he's not used, just that the Greater Maldrude ends up
Planetary
beating him.
control achieved. Building started.
Coordinates received.
Tactical battle imminent.
This is all infrastructure as well. Does have a barracks.
Invasion commencing. System control achieved.
Hey,
Construction complete.
Where are you going, sir?
Order confirmed.
Construction complete. Tactical battle imminent. Tactical battle imminent.
All right. I don't know what they thought they were doing with that secular. Uh-oh.
Carrot Commander here. Understood.
Hey, Harrison. I might just destroy this Praetor and then pull back so we can come back in fresh and take out the Valaduja. Or bring the rest of our fleet in. No, not really. We have a lot of Praetors here. So we're good. Now you can come back around.
Bomber Squadron reporting.
Ready for command, sir.
Go after them. Open fire. Under control. Watch him. He's coming around. Let's finish him. Regroup. I'm hit. Unable to shake them. We're being targeted.
Okay, you need to be in a position that doesn't suck.
Taking fire.
Hypervelocity cannon
Intercepting.
firing.
Returning to your position. I'll take care of this. Getting a lock. He won't be around much longer. Closing on target. Target critical.
Star Destroyer standing by. Star
My scopes are
Destroyer
jammed.
reporting in.
He's about to
We've
be
got them on
destroyed.
scopes.
He's headed your direction. Narrowing position.
Ready
Pursuing
for
enemy
orders.
forces. Taking them out.
What are your orders?
Let's
Back.
finish him.
Yes, Commander.
Watch your back.
Awaiting
Intercepting.
orders. Awaiting your
Engaging
orders.
the enemy. I'm on this one. Where are the others?
Okay.
Under control. Shields almost gone.
If it's actually going to shoot the Praetor, that'd be really good.
Cover me now. Returning to
Tarkin's Vengeance.
He won't be around much longer. Target critical. I got him. He's about to be destroyed. I'll take care of this. He's headed your direction. Narrowing position.
Because that's not actually... That's going to have to sit there and die regardless.
Carrot
Closing on
Commander here.
target. Let's finish him. Watch for enemy
Your command.
ships. Pursuing enemy forces.
Order confirmed.
Watch your back.
Coming around.
Intercepting.
Hypervelocity cannon
He won't be
firing.
around much longer. Engaging.
We've actually started to lure out some of their other stuff, it seems like. No, these ones were already on the way. Never mind.
Commander.
That's not... That was not a true fact that I said.
He's about to be destroyed. He's headed your direction. Narrowing position. Watch him. He's coming around.
I've got him.
Returning to your position. Tightening up.
Roger that.
I'll take care of this.
Form
Getting
up.
a lock.
Destroyer here. Copy.
Closing on
Heading to
target.
destination. I copy.
Pursuing
We're moving
enemy
out.
Forces. Regroup. Eliminating. Let's finish him. Taking him out. Engines are malfunctioning.
Right. Start moving in on the station now.
Destroyer standing by.
Scum. Nowhere to go. We're being targeted.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
I'm going to try to come in from this corner, too.
Where are the others?
That's where it has the least weapon coverage.
Our target priority is
think.
the laser cannons.
Choose your reinforcements.
Yes, Commander.
Still a lot of
The
fighters, but
lasers are our target. Fire.
Hypervelocity
I'm
cannon
going to start
firing.
losing HPs. But you can still take out the last on that.
Awaiting.
So let's get everything over here.
Open fire.
My sights.
I've got him.
Roger that.
Where'd he go?
I'm on this one.
Commencing attack run.
Awaiting your
Shields
orders.
almost gone.
If Antrala has
Formation.
Attack that
a
target.
Valaduja as well, this is going to be difficult.
Under control.
What's everyone's favorite Archer book from Legends? The 170.
Watch for
I think is a pretty solid arc.
Watch your back. Returning to your position.
Formation.
Go after them. I'll take care of this. Getting a lock.
Oh, see you later, Ashik.
Attacking target.
Intercepting.
Halfway through the shields. Is there anywhere my beloved Empire wins? Probably maybe like the late Vong War when they're working with the New Republic and they're not like the foils for stuff. Or the Thrawn trilogy, I guess, because Thrawn does win most stuff and then loses on a technicality. Is this going to be it for Tarkin's Vengeance? I think it got one or two more in that.
Form up. Firing.
My scopes are jammed.
Destroyer here.
The others. Unable to shake them. I've got him. Shield's almost gone.
Copy.
Taking fire. I've been hit. I've got him. Cover me now.
I copy.
Engines are
Engaging the
malfunctioning.
enemy.
I'll see if it can limp over a little bit.
Intercepting.
For your orders.
Taking fire.
Commander, they're hitting us.
Reporting. Our target priority is the laser cannons. Star Destroyer standing by.
Choose your
Star
reinforcements.
Destroyer reporting in. Yes, Commander. Awaiting orders. Awaiting your orders.
I tried, but I tried to get our troops on there. Didn't work.
Awaiting your command.
Get behind them.
The missile launchers are the primary target.
If they switched their hypervelocity gun target now, I'd be
Commander,
annoyed.
Locking.
our launch bay is gone.
Enemies in range.
Reporting in.
Target locked.
Eliminating target.
The iron cannons are
Calling
offline.
out formation.
Yeah, the fighters on some of these defenses are just really high and need to be reduced.
Our shields are down. Our lasers are destroyed.
Awaiting orders.
The lasers are our target.
Intercepting.
Choose your reinforcements.
I got
At
Coming
maximum
around.
unit capacity.
formation. Go after the stragglers.
Roger that. Our target priority is the laser cannons.
Locking on.
Form up.
Stay in
Destroyer here.
Enemies in range.
The lasers are our target. Our target priority is the laser cannons.
Get behind them. Target locked.
Yeah, if Kaine has a Valaduja with them, that's a problem.
We've got them on scopes. Attack commencing.
Nowhere to run. Copy. Changing course to the side.
The lasers are our target.
Velocity cannon
I
firing.
copy.
Alright, here we go.
They've taken out
By
our
Tarkin's Vengeance.
Our primary engine
Choose your
system is down.
reinforcements.
We've lost the
But
iron.
hello, Big Iron.
The shields aren't holding.
At maximum unit capacity.
The lasers have been destroyed.
Choose your reinforcements.
Reporting.
Alright, you stop there.
I have them now.
Star Destroyer standing by.
What is it, like 6 hardpoint? No, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So close to what I said.
I got one.
Destroy the station, then we can destroy the acclimators, and then they'll have
Our shields are down.
fewer fighters. Or fewer replacement fighters, if we ever happen to destroy a fighter.
Take out the iron cannons. Star Destroyer reporting in. Our lasers are destroyed.
Okay, now you can take those.
Coming around. He's coming around.
The iron cannons are offline.
Choose your
I'll
reinforcements.
take care of this.
Yes, Commander. Our primary target is those iron cannons.
Hypervelocity cannon.
What are you going HP gun?
Come out.
You going for base delta 0?
The shields aren't holding. Take out the iron cannons. Our engines are gone, sir.
Watch him. He's coming around. He's headed your direction. Returning to your position. Target locked. Watch for enemy ships.
Choose your reinforcements.
Once this ISD is dead, I think we can bring in another Praetor.
We've lost the iron cannons.
Choose your reinforcements.
And that should be enough to win the battle.
I'm hit.
The lasers are our target.
Tightening up.
Awaiting orders.
I got one.
Getting a lock. I've got it.
Can you take out this acclimator?
Priority is the
You're in the most convenient position to do it.
awaiting your orders. Fire.
Pursuing enemy forces.
There's a significant amount of losses.
Opening fire on the torpedo launchers.
Taking them out.
Back around for another
My
round.
scopes are jammed.
Excellent shot.
Engaging the enemy. Unable to shoot.
Choose your reinforcements.
We won't be around much longer.
Intercepting.
I'm on this one.
Yeah, those bombers are just gonna shred Base Delta Zero. But can we shred this faster?
Stay in formation. Where are the enemies in range? Target locked.
No.
Shields almost
Choose your
All right.
reinforcements. I've got him coming around.
under control.
Eliminating.
The lasers are our target.
I've got him.
Okay, we might actually have to replace some stuff before we can finish off Kaine or the New Republic.
The lasers are
I'm not gonna worry about like Meridoon and that kind of stuff,
primary input system is down.
because they're essentially empty.
Enemies in range.
Target on position.
Taking hypervelocity cannon
Huh?
firing.
Return to your position.
We are victorious. Retreat aborted.
Base Delta Zero, Marauder, Nautapeltis, Praetor 2, Spiral, Thrawn's or Tarkin's Vengeance, Tector, Tupaka, and your mom. Thank you, fighters. Alright, middle inst.
Destination.
Clear out in there.
Heading to
Get
destination.
them blocked in. All infrastructure.
Invasion commencing. Planetary control achieved.
Okay.
Tactical battle imminent.
Tangren? Oh, they snuck out again.
Construction complete.
Alright.
Destination set.
Building under construction.
If they have a Valaduja, that is difficult. If not, we're good. Do we have anything else sitting around? Just those ground units? Alright. Just to be sure, let's get Kunai back.
In production. Constructing unit.
Vehicle
I'll just
in
queue everything up
production.
that I can.
Unit in production.
Unit in production.
Which is everything.
Unit in production.
Because we have a lot of money. Where do I have another shipyard built up? On Cal? No, Hast.
Vehicle in production.
This is how it has to be.
Construction complete.
Right away.
Tactical battle imminent.
Big Praetor, no Valaduja, Big Praetor, no Valaduja.
Enemy forces ahead.
No Valaduja. Any chance of Admiral Droll moving out of the one? Maybe he'd have to be worked in, like he'd be an independent force thing, but he's a later era one. So we'd have to work in another planet for it as well, and some other story stuff.
Choose your
Because
reinforcements.
we do have Guardian in the mod, but we just give attack bar automatically, basically.
We're moving out.
Let's take down the Venator.
Hypervelocity cannon firing.
Onager. Big Iron.
Our target priority is the laser cannons. Open fire. Our primary target is those iron cannons. The lasers are our target.
I copy.
All right, let's
Our
see.
target priority is the laser cannons.
With the Punishers and the TIE Hunters, I think we actually should be able to do this
Target is the ion cannons.
without much problem.
Sir,
Will the whole ISD 1-2 rebalance ability rework thing be in 2.3? Well, there's not going to be a significant rebalancing of ISD 1 and 2, so I'm not sure what you're referring to there.
Copy. Target
I don't know if they'll get
lasers.
new abilities in that either. I don't really want to give them powered weapons, but we will if we have to.
Firing target.
And like, I'd rather think of something else for them, more unique.
Awaiting your command.
nowhere to run.
TIE squadron here. Advancing on target.
Falling out of formation. Get behind them. Draw their
Reporting.
fire.
Yes, sir.
Attack
Attack.
TIEs reporting in. Go after the stragglers.
Cannons armed.
Regroup for another attack.
I guess if you want to kill those.
Are our target. Our target priority is the laser cannon.
Are you going to have a subplot that let me catch Order 66 and kill cities before he pulls the trap like any worse? I mean, like,
Out the iron cannons.
with any kind of story stuff in either mod, the focus first has to be on working on story plots that can either happen or not, but that are more in line with what actually happened. So you can just like not do Order 66.
The
But
lasers are our target.
for alternate history stuff or any kind of branching thing, that will take a lot more work and generally is lower priority than getting what actually happened in.
Your command, sir.
Falling out of formation.
We actually had a good position coming in on this. That really helps. Can strike fast take out some of this other stuff?
Switch position.
Commander.
Gun them down. My scopes are jammed.
Consideration adding the deploy squadron ability that ISD 1-2. The way that actually works, it wouldn't work with how the mod works. We can't use that ability. Because it basically just lets you choose when you want to deploy your own squadron that you already have. It doesn't give you extra stuff. So that's generally why we don't use it, or why we never used it before. Because it's not really adding any capability to the ship, it's just giving you the choice of when to deploy stuff. And like, I guess we could rework it so that the Lewis spawn only happens when that button's pressed, or when an ability like that is used. But it doesn't really, it's not really something that adds any power to the ship.
Heading out.
On target. I'm hit. Blasted scum. Nowhere to go. Losing power. Losing control. I can't switch position. Gun them down. We're being targeted. Unable to shake them. Pursuing enemy forces.
Reporting in.
Taking them out.
Batteries online. Fall out.
Squad, move in. My scopes are jammed. Where are the others? Shield's almost gone. Cover me now.
Our target priority is the laser cannons.
I mean, like, if we wanted to make ISDs more powerful, we could just, like, throw a bunch of fighters on them that they didn't actually have. But with all that stuff, we prefer to stay accurate to
Watch for
what their capabilities were. So we don't want to really go above the 6 squadrons.
Our engines are gone, sir. Weapons ready. Our shields won't protect us from those asteroids. The lasers are our target. Our shields are down.
I mean, as we get further into here, he's going to be killing stuff a little bit. We've almost lost 2 of the Praetors. Because it's such a narrow area.
Roger that.
Hey, can you kill the Enforcer, please?
Priority is the laser cannons. Yes, sir. Let's move out. Target sighted. Holding fire for maximum effect. Attack. Take out the iron cannons.
Do we have any more Praetors? No.
Our lasers are destroyed.
Thanks, pathfinding.
At your command. Fire. Open fire. Form up. Our primary target is
Choose your reinforcements.
Okay,
Move
Starvo,
out.
George Eliot's Revenge,
Confirm.
and regular turn.
Right away.
Destroyer here.
Watch your back.
The lasers are our target.
Intercepted.
Cruiser here.
Go after them.
Frequency open.
Under control.
Ready for battle.
Regroup.
Attack that target.
Yeah, the accuracy against transports being so low is really fucking dumb. Something we
Shields won't protect
didn't
us
really
from
change
those
from the base
asteroids.
game that I really want to change.
Where are the
Our
others?
shields won't protect us from those asteroids.
Engines are malfunctioning.
Our launch bay is gone.
Target locked.
Target iron cannons are offline. Our target priority is the laser
Choose
cannons.
your reinforcements.
Right, Aristotle,
She'll be there shortly.
Rebels, and
The shields aren't holding.
really a good place for him is there.
Have been destroyed.
There's right there.
away.
Peregrine's Nest,
Moving out.
Sword of Siswana.
Navigating to coordinates.
Hypervelocity cannon firing.
Copy. I copy.
He won't be around much
Attack
longer.
that target.
Returning to your position.
Hello, Professor of Gaming.
The lasers are our target. Reporting.
Mostly missed killing a lot of PA stuff and my own stuff.
Star Destroyer standing by.
5 seconds. I'll take care of this. Nowhere to run. Watch for enemy ships.
Whoa. The entire YouTube chat just disappeared. Oh, there it's back. Memories a bit rusty, but I remember how you talked the idea of giving the IST some kind of ability based on their turbo lasers. I'm going to rework it too much. It was
Being targeted.
more of a modified power to weapons. But yeah, not really a rework. And that would only be... it wasn't really based on their turbo, the barbette stuff. It would have been applied to both.
Our launch bay.
It was more based on the shape of the ship. And how they were used in universe.
Our target priority is the laser cannons. Fire at will.
To shake them.
Choose your reinforcements.
Oh wait, we do have a Praetor.
My scopes are jammed.
There we go.
Where are the others? Narrowing position. Shields almost gone. I've been hit.
Our lasers are destroyed.
Engines are malfunctioning.
The lasers are our target.
Excellent shot.
Our target priority is the laser cannons.
Okay, that
Targeting at max.
that enforcer really needs to die.
Reporting in. Yes, Commander. Attacking.
Engaging the enemy. Nowhere to go. Attack
Cover me
formation.
now. Enemies in range. I've got him. Sir,
I'm on this one.
I've got him.
Yep, Zinja actually killed in yesterday's episode.
Our engines are gone, sir.
Go after the
Targeting.
stragglers.
He did for a while.
Regroup for another attack.
Choose your reinforcements.
Bring in a detector. Why do I have 128 available? I explained at the start of the playthrough, but we rescaled it from 60 to 120. So ISDs and stuff, instead of being 6, are now 12. With similarly to how we rescaled it from 40 to 60, because that gives us more space to move around the smaller ships,
Awaiting your
so we can spread them out a bit more and they can be a bit more useful.
awaiting your command.
Pick 'em quick.
See you, Tony. Thanks for watching.
Your command, sir.
Watch for enemy ships.
The lasers are our target.
system is down.
Losing power. Under control.
Full speed. Our turbo laser
Watch
batteries
him.
have
He's
been
coming around.
disabled.
Go after them.
Hypervelocity cannon firing.
Commander. The shields are
Choose your
holding.
reinforcements.
Position.
Fire.
Flank speed.
Returning to your position.
Reporting in.
Let's finish it. I'll take care of this. Gun them down.
Falling out.
Roger that.
We're being targeted.
Our target priority is the
All right. So we've got just the what, the Golan and the Aquamators. We should be able to take that out before
destroyer here.
everything dies to the fighters.
Our launch bay is gone.
As long as stuff faces the right direction.
Roger that.
Are you done running around the map? You can come back then.
Launching attack. Copy.
Choose your reinforcements.
The iron cannons are offline.
So in what update will Zinj get newer read on units? Is it lacking compared to the other warlords? We haven't decided when Zinj would be a focus,
I copy.
because that's all stuff that'll mostly be done like at the time that it happens.
Where are the others?
Once we know what the options are.
Form up.
I'm on.
Attack position.
Under control. Target critical. Shields almost gone. Cover me now.
Because in this one, the focus is on giving the Arido the stuff, or Arido the stuff that was cut from 2.2. So stuff like the
Destroyer standing by.
Victory Frigate, Vigil, the Asserter, which wasn't really cut from 2.2, but which has been
Ships.
being worked on for a while. But
Nowhere to go.
after that, like the Hapen update will probably mostly just focus on the Hapens and redoing some stuff. So I don't know whether we'd be adding in much for Zinj there, but of any like Warlord reworks, Zinj would be
Star
next.
destroyer reporting in.
Because really, at the end of the day, Imperial factions are Imperial factions, so we're less concerned with that. But if we can instead focus on getting the other like factions with different play styles in over just trying to get a little bit more visual difference within Zinj, that probably ends up being more worth it.
Choose your reinforcements.
Fallout. I copy. Let's move out.
Unit capacity.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, so will you finish that, please, you guys? Get the Acclimator. In the main mod build, I've changed it so that when stuff is flying over ships, you can still target the ships under it properly, so the fighters don't block it, which is a pretty annoying thing that happens currently. So
Initiating attack.
that's nice.
Enemy forces. Taking them out. We're being targeted.
The enemy has been defeated.
Yeah, coming to the PA, I definitely needed more tartans. No, you can't do that now. That's cheating.
Retreat avoided.
There we go. Lost everyone. Killed Kaine.
On my way, sir.
Oh, that sucks.
Invasion commencing.
Ready. Move out.
Choose your reinforcements.
Destination set. On my way, sir.
Sensor node
Yes,
constructing.
sir. Right away.
I copy.
We've
Destination set.
Construction complete.
Roger.
An epic job making my wildest Star Wars dream come true. I don't mean like the Last Jedi. Last Jedi. Oh, glad you enjoy it.
Reporting.
Walk over their stuff.
On my way. Inputting coordinates.
At maximum unit capacity.
Yes, sir. On my way, sir. Yes, Commander. Attacking.
AT-AT destroyed.
Roger that. Heading out. Fall out. Attacking! Let's move out.
It's a
Target.
very different
Firing.
outfit.
Inputting coordinates.
Yeah, I was,
Engaging
I mean,
fire.
hey. Pick him up. How's it going?
Keep going. Warm up. Target acquired. This way. Awaiting orders. Enemy sighted. Copy.
Alright, so I was thinking about whether we wanted to clear out, like, Meridoon and Odic and stuff, but I think we're probably good with just taking out the PA here. And we'll leave it with that.
Copy. Over there.
'Cause everything else is mostly just planets that they have some ground units on.
On my way.
Oh, they captured that.
Enemy spotted.
That's rude.
On the move.
Destroyed.
Reporting. Scouting area. Yes, sir.
Did kill a lot of their stuff coming in there. See if we can...
Moving out.
Can you go in this other way?
Right away.
Choose
And
your
we'll get more of our ATSTs.
maximum unit capacity.
Yes, Commander. Ready. Heading out.
The Russians impressed me in A2I4 the other day. Yeah, I mean, campaign's over. What do I care if they survive at this point?
Yes, sir. Fall out. Let's move out. Inputting coordinates. Ready to go.
I don't get to keep them for next time.
Keep going. This way. Over there. Scouting. On my way.
AT-AT ready.
Awaiting orders. Always ready, sir. Hostiles. Scanning area. On the move. Scouting area. Let's go.
We could kill them before they capture this stuff.
Right away. Moving out.
Armored transport ready.
Affirmative.
Yep, Maldred is next.
Open fire!
Choose your reinforcements.
Reporting in.
Reporting in. Moving out.
On my way.
Roger that.
Bombardment available.
Target.
And it'll be starting next week, next Friday or Saturday.
Fall out. Attacking target.
Ready. Initiate attack run.
Okay, what do you still got for me, little guys?
Fall out, troops.
Form up. Let's move out. Inputting coordinates. Keep going.
People in a bunker. Just gonna walk by AT-AT. There you go.
Are victorious. System control achieved.
Okay, so I mean, there's still little planets here, but like you got Meridian, where it's just that, and New Republic has a little bit of stuff left. But I think we will leave that there. So I'm gonna call the campaign there. I hope you've all enjoyed our first look at the beginning of the development of 2.3. I know not a huge amount has changed from 2.2 yet, but hopefully as we start going through it, you'll start to see more of the bigger changes take shape. And that will, like I said, the next one will be starting next Friday. We will be probably finishing Phoenix Rising fairly soon, so we'll get another mod going in that slot too. But Fall of the Republic is getting to a point where we're going to be able to do a series in that, hopefully the next couple months. So probably even during, it'll probably end up starting during the Greater Maldru playthrough. So hope you're all looking forward to that. Hope you've enjoyed the series, and thanks for joining me. So I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.